Hi, I'm Phil Harbottle, and this is my 53rd video discussing British science fiction. This video is by way of being a postscript to my 52nd video discussing John Russell Fearn's Golden Amazon series, which you should watch first before this one. We saw in that video how all of Fearn's Golden Amazon novels had been published by Glasby'S small press, Griffin Books. The final novel, number 27, Chameleon Planet, a posthumous collaboration with myself, had ended on a clean finish, thus paving the way for sequels. I then invited other clients of my Cosmos Literary Agency to continue the Amazon series, and John Glasby was the first to step forward with 4 new novels. After only very slight editing, I had judged them as worthy successors to Fearn. The first 2 Amazon novels by Glasby, C.T. Sun, number 28, and The Crimson Peril, number 29, were quickly published by Griffin in 2007, again using Ron Turner covers as before. C.T. Sun was an action-packed interstellar adventure in which the Cosmic Crusaders and their mighty spaceship, the Ultra, are transported across millions of light years via a wormhole to the Andromeda galaxy. Here they have to engage in a battle to the death with an inimical reptilian race before returning to the Milky Way. The first page of The Crimson Peril was actually written by Fearn himself. Look at it. That first page was written by Fearn himself. How was that possible? The answer was that following World in Duplicate, Fearn had written 2 Amazon novels that both had been rejected by the Toronto Star Weekly, Lords of Creation and Duel with Colossus. Lords of Creation had ended with the beginning of what had been intended as the next adventure, featuring a mysterious pulsing crimson star. Be it noted that this was long before the discovery of pulsars. When it was rejected, Fearn's next submission, Duel with Colossus, had to have a different opening since it had to follow on from the last published novel. So the intriguing idea of the pulsing red star was never followed up by Fearn. Both novels had, of course, subsequently been printed by Griffin Books, but I myself had created a new ending for Lords of Creation so that it led directly into Duel with Colossus. Liking this unused ending, a bleak beginning, with the Crimson Sun, I typed it out and sent it to John Glasby. I asked him if he could use it to start his next novel after C.T. Sun, which had ended on a clean finish. John was intrigued with the idea of a pulsating crimson star, and it inspired him to write The Crimson Peril. The happy collaboration was not really surprising since Glasby had joined the variable star section of the British Astronomical Society in 1958, being made its director in 1965. This astronomical and scientific background added immensely to Glasby's own science fiction, and it was manifest in this and all his other Amazon novels. One of the reasons I'd selected Glasby to continue the Amazon series was because, like Fearn, he also had a treasure chest of previously published material to draw upon for inspiration. The Crimson Peril had resonances with Glasby's own very first novel, Satellite BC, 1952, Curtis Warren, featuring the adventures of the crew of the interstellar exploration ship Ultima Thule. We see Gordon Davies' cover for that novel here. But publication of The Sun Movers and Primordial World was delayed, whilst Gary's small press struggled to overcome a worldwide recession. Consequently, as his agent, I reluctantly had to ask Glasby to pause writing any more Amazon novels and to switch instead to writing more lucrative new westerns in his recently revived Johnny Merrick detective novels for his larger British publishers, Robert Hale and F.A. Thorpe. We see a couple of examples of these many titles here. But Gary Livesey had vowed to publish the Amazon novels as soon as his resources allowed, and he eventually published The Sunmakers in 2010, although it bore a printed date of July 2007. The Crimson Peril had ended on an intriguing note, with the Ultra heading into the galactic deeps. Ahead of them, a tiny cluster of multicoloured stars shone like a galactic jewel against the eternal dark. Following on from the previous novel, the Crusaders head for a small cluster of multicoloured stars some 60 light years away. Here they discover a system of 7 suns, a white supergiant and 6 others, all of different colours. Certain that this is an artificial configuration of suns, they examine the cluster to find there are only 2 planets, one larger than Jupiter orbiting the white star, and an Earth-type planet around the violet sun. Then the Crusaders decide to land on the Earth-type planet, and the cosmic mystery unfolds. Alas, John Glasby had sadly died in 2011, so he never saw the last book, Primordial World, which Gary finally managed to put out in 2014, albeit in a very limited edition of just 100 copies. My introduction, originally written in 2007, now had a footnote announcing Glasby's sad death. There's the footnote, bottom of that page, and that. In this final novel, the Cosmic Crusaders encounter an alien archaeologist, Kurtar, whose lifelong work has been to search for that legendary primordial world, Derivan, the first planet in the entire galaxy where the first intelligent race had evolved. Kurtar has discovered ancient writings suggesting that this race became virtually immortal and possessed all the secrets of the universe. This discovery is known to others of Kurtar's race, and there's a faction amongst them who are also seeking the primordial world. They believe they can gain the ancient knowledge that will enable them to gain immortality and the means to subjugate all the races in the galaxy. So the Crusaders join Kurtar in the race to discover the primordial world first, to thwart these evil ambitions. The quest takes them across thousands of light years, visiting several strange planets before they find their goal and a surprising denouement. John Glasby's colourful adventure novel abounded with a sense of wonder and was a worthy capstone to the Golden Amazon series. Here we see Gary's afterword, explaining why the book had been delayed. It makes poignant reading today. With the death of Glasby, the Griffin science fiction rediscovery series also came to an end after 62 titles, exactly half of them Amazon titles. My other agency clients who earlier expressed interest were now either dead, E.C. Tubb, or battling ill health, Brian Ball, and so were unable to write new Amazon novels. And by 2014, I myself was now too busy as a literary agent, handling an ever-growing number of new British and American clients in the States to continue with my own novel writing. So I rested content in the knowledge that at least I'd kept my promise to Mrs. Fern to restore the Golden Amazon to print. Today, the only Amazons out of print are the 4 John Glasby titles. Any interested publishers are hereby invited to contact me.